Well, it's time for someone new. New to me, not totally. I remember them back in '83. I don't remember this song from '71. This is where I got directed to. You guys who know on the channel. And this is Yes, which is Roundabout. It's the original track from the album because the single was released at 3 minutes 27. But let's get into it. I'll pull it back a little bit. We won't lose out. I read another song, but that's one of the first things I read was from Jon Anderson, Steve Howe, that they adopted what's called a deceptive cadence, which basically means they'd put a chord progression just before something you weren't expecting it, so it wouldn't fit. So that you have a blues turnaround at the end, or you'll have a 1-4-6 progression, and you'll know what should be there. So progressive music was about that. Was about giving you something to think of. It had jazz elements, it had that elements. And the way I picked up on it was at the beginning, sounded very much classically Spanish, and then straight into, which felt more folky. Yeah, so if you listen to the beginning, it clearly has that almost Sergio Leone feel. Ding, diddle, ding. It's got that sort of isolated desert feel. And then straight into that folky, sort of more acoustic-y riff of, I think it's probably in G. I can't remember. So they drop something in, it would deceive you. Not in a bad way. So that's one of the things that kind of talks a little bit about prog. But yeah, just listen to Jon Anderson. Written by Jon Anderson and Steve Howe. Anyway, let's carry on and enjoy this, because I'm loving it. I kind of remember it, but it's not something I've heard. And then again, I'm a Jon Anderson fan, so I will have heard his lyrics always appear in my mind at different times anyway.
I will remember you. Your silhouette will charge the view of distant atmosphere. Sound and even in the valley, in a must win with all my loving too. 24 before my love you see, I'll be there with you.
It sounds frenetic, right? Lots, but if you listen, it's just different layers. And it's so amazingly produced that you can just hear those different layers, split seconds from one to another, organ to this, to that, to that. And it's not a massive confusion. If you want it to be, you can. But if you're listening carefully, you can, even if you just listen peripherally, just casually, you can hear that it all works. And it's amazing. The lyrics are something else. It's really got that sort of progressive folky song feeling. It's like a yay, but we'll get to that. Stick with me, guys. Little hammer-ons.
In and around the lake, mountains come out of the sky. They stand there. 24 before my love, I'll be there.
Let me just pull that ending back a little bit there. That's the Deceptive Cadence at the end. That beautiful ending. That's just a song of complete. It's folksy. It's lyrically kind. It's joyous. For our American friends, and if you're an American friend or anybody who's well versed in Yes, then you'll know this song was written by Jon Anderson, Steve Howe, way before Yes were any kind of famous band. These guys were just gigging to get food on the table, and they'd been away for a month, and they just wanted to get home, and they were up in Scotland, and they were seeing, but then they were, I guess on reflection, they were struck by the beauty and the majesty, and those simple acoustic bits are you get when the mountains stand out of the sky. And then you've got the roundabouts, which is when they're trying to get home, and that in 24 hours I'll be in your arms. But it's also, I'll be your roundabout. You can, I am the point. I'm that static fixed point. I'm not going anywhere. We'll be together on this journey, if that kind of makes sense. But the ending was the arrival. And I know, to me, that's what it feels like, that they just got to the doorstep. And there's that beautiful folksy ending, almost like with a lyre sound. L-I-R-E, not liar, as in liar, liar, pants on fire. But what a fantastic way to show you how progressive music could be. Completely based in that folksy element of the song, with real elements of the organ. And you know who's playing the organ, right? I'm not going to insult anybody. But everything in there, as they were moving along, was layered to give you that different element of the musical sound. But it was all part of one rhythm for me. That's how I'm hearing it. Absolute genius. So joyous, so filled with hope and wanting to get home to his then first wife, I suspect. I don't know how many wives he's had, Jon Anderson, but they wrote this together, him and Steve Howe. Now, if you listen to Styx, you'll hear, some elements, not Styx, but some of this popped up in the way Styx would but some of their production. There's a crossover in terms of who's writing for who. But God, this is beautiful, right? In a roundabout, come on. This country's less than 1,000 miles long. The United Kingdom and all its isles fits into one corner of Texas 5 times over. That's just one state in America. So we get there, and on our drives, if you've driven 2 hours, you've gone through 4 junctions, 2 roundabouts, and a town centre. And I've driven down. Well, I didn't drive. My brother drove, because I was the camera holder. We drove down the route from San Francisco down to LA first, over the Big Sur, and no roundabouts, just straight roads, beautiful. In England, we'd have had, oh, Jesus. So the roundabout was the obstacle and the freneticism, but the song and the mountains and the contrast was beautiful. Guys, I love that. So glad I heard that. I think I've heard little bits, but I've got no real memory. I've never listened to that full 8-minute song before, but I'm hoping to listen to more, yes. Yep, guys, direct me. Until next time, just join in, click it, join it, like it. As long as you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Take care, guys.